Hey YouTube, what I'm going to try and do is I'm trying to scoop out the microplastic out of this container and put it into here. Alright, as I try and scoop it out, I'm always going to be left with some parts. No matter how hard I try and scoop it, always going to be bits that I'm going to leave behind. It's going to stick to the side of the container and so forth. Anyway, so what I thought I might do was I might make a separator. Okay, so we just push that to the back. Remove that. I went to the local Aldi in Brisbane and I bought this 2.2 litre food storage container. And then I went to the local Bunnings store and I bought one of these. The idea is pretty much a mock-up like that. If we could stick that straight in there, all you could do is turn the valve on and let all this stuff here flow out. That way we could get all that top stuff there straight into a container. Sieve that as it comes out of here. Then return the water back to the container. And there you go. Right, since I can't drill a hole in glass, next best thing, drill it in the plastic. Maybe in the end might be best. Okay, let's see if we put in about there. Okay, we have our circle. That goes in there. That should be high enough because we'll fill it up to the top here. So it'll settle, float on the top. The other stuff will sink to the bottom. So that'll be alright. Now I've got to find a hole. Well, a drill. This is my hole saw set. Right. Now we're cooking. Now over to the drill press. Okay, what I've got here is I've tried to fit my part underneath the press, but I just don't have enough stroke there. So when I move the table out of the road, I can put this on the bottom here, but now I run out of stroke. Alright, so what I have to do is I have to pack it up. So I can just put it on my vise, just line it up by eye, and we'll drill a hole. Here we go. There we go, we have a hole. Puts in the hole. Pretty swanky, I reckon. On, sorry, off, on, off, on. I think that's enough force. Maybe I'll go once more round. Oh no! Did I break it? Alright, that's alright now. I think so. Alright, we'll go try it. I bought some demineralized water the other day. I'm going to use that. Turn that off. This is the water I bought. Demineralized. Now, pour it in. Okay, so we're going to go up to there, that level. The idea being is that when we let it out, just don't have the frame. When we let it out, we're going to have a sieve, and we'll have a container. Most likely it'll be like this container. Put the sieve over the top. Or most likely will be another container, and when we let it out, the water will flow, and that whole top bit there, from there down to here, will all flow out. So basically we should be able to get all this top floaty stuff down, out through the drain into the sieve. Then we just recycle the water back into the container again. That's the plan. Because it should flow out there and flow straight out. So what we need to do is we need to give it a test. Ideally we need to angle it down. Maybe I'll just hold it here at the moment. Oh! Well, it takes 2 hands to turn it. No, 1 hand. Well, that worked. Okay, so we just need to find out if we've got some, put some floaty stuff on the top there. See if we can make that float out. We'll skim off some of this stuff here. Put it in here. It will eventually float to the top again. As you put it in, it'll want to go down, it'll come back up. Okay, so we've got some up the top there. Now let's see if we can get that into there. Actually, I might wait a minute until a little bit more comes up. Actually, no, I'll do it now. Turn on. Well, that sort of worked. A bit more has come out compared to scooping it off the top. Alright, pour it back in. This is a view of the plastic being drained out of our separator. That didn't quite work. It did get some of it out. I think continuous flushing will actually get the rest of it out. We need almost... Anyway, see if we can give you a shot. Okay, we'll give it a try with some more plastic. I haven't really tried this demineralized water, but I assume that the like this other one over here, which you can't see, that would be demineralized now because it's been there that long. That one. Alright, this has been sitting in our big bottle. See what falls, see what doesn't. Some more. You can see that's heavy. What I seem to find is this real light microplastic doesn't really like to make its mind up. So what will happen is it will sit up the top here for at least a day or so. Then it will start to gradually fall down. And when I come back tomorrow, it will be like this one here. All the lighter stuff will be at the top and it's all settled to the bottom. Because there's still air pockets in these little bits. So you give it a bit of a stir. And we'll come back tomorrow and we'll see how that is. You can definitely tell there's heavy stuff down here and this lighter stuff, it just... You can't make its mind up really whether it wants to be heavy or whether it wants to be light. It could be the fact being is that there are impurities in the plastic, because some of the plastic I have cut up has had FR on it, had PSFR, which FR is fire resistant. So it's quite possibly that the fire resistant plastic seems to be flowed a little bit more, or I don't know. But all I know is after a day or so, in 24 hours so, this stuff here will be at the bottom. Then all we do is turn it on, filter it out, then we can get our lighter plastic. That's one small float sink container done. There. Here's another view of the separator working. So we got some more out this time. Now we just filter that. We just filter the contents of that into our sieve. Look at that, we've had some fine particles go through. You wouldn't have thought it would have went through the sieve. And then we just dump our contents up there. Actually, that may have been my fault. Right, then we just pour this back into our container again. What we do now is wait for it to settle again, and we do the same. Be a bit of a process, but that shouldn't really take too much to clear that top space. Just depending on how much plastic we actually try and separate at one time. But if it's a I don't know, a tablespoon or a teaspoon of plastic that we're actually separating, then that would work out fine. Just do a couple of rounds and you'd be done. But I did put a bit in, so far it hasn't been too bad. We've made it a bit lighter now. I just keep going till I've done it. So yeah, now the next step is to pour our contents into our filter. Just enough room. Well, now what we do with this now is take it out of here, and now where are we? Now we put it into our container. Then we can start the process all over again. Get our water that we just separated from the plastic, tip it back in there. Once that's settled again, we can then pour it back into our container. And skim off the next bit. And the cycle goes round and round again. Just wait for this plastic here to realign itself. What floats will float and what sinks will sink. Then we just open the tap, pour it into our other vessel over here, this one, and we repeat the process again. After about 4 or 5 flushes through with the water, I've pretty much removed most of the floating microplastic. It's only a little bit that's still remaining in the container. But that's alright. As long as majority of it does go away, which we'll be happy with. Then we just put that stuff into our container up the top here. And we have one filter yet full again. As you can see here, I'll pour the water in. It just has to settle again, but basically we don't have really any floating material left. It's all pretty much exited via our tap, which is good. So I'm quite happy with that. That works, even though we have to do a few flushes with the system. Even though we have to do a few flushes via the exit tap, I'm quite happy with that. Basically, most of the floating microplastic has gone. So happy with that. There.